If you're tired of the standard business and marketing fundamentals, frameworks, and funnels, you need a little mischief. Get ready to turn up the volume on the CEO Mischief Maker podcast, where you access conversations with seasoned business owners who have smashed through mindset barriers, innovated the standard boring business and marketing playbooks, and executed future-paced strategies with bleeding-edge tools and tactics to micro-fail their way into massive success and growth. We are Mindset Impact Strategic Catalysts helping innovative entrepreneurs focus. We are CEO Mischief Makers. Ready to make a little mischief? All right, welcome to Fridays. I love Fridays. Although I work whenever I want. So Fridays are any day of the week, but I love Fridays mainly because of the strategy and tactics. And I geek out about this stuff. All right. So welcome back to the conversation with my good buddy by now, Chad Maghielse. And we're going to talk now about this incredible business he built and what kind of strategies and tactics he used. And if you were here for Wednesday's conversation, then you know that this is a very impactful business. So let's unpack that impact a little bit, Chad, and start telling me about what strategy did you use to start and grow this wonderful pet brand?
Yeah, I'd first say as a disclaimer, if you haven't listened to parts 1 and 2, I'd go do that first because they are foundational for the strategies. You can't just plug in the strategies while skipping the mindset and the business foundations. Those are important. So one of the things we talked about on our Wednesday chat was building an audience so that you can direct that audience towards your sales channel of choice, and building a hyper-focused audience who believes the same things that you do and believes what your brand stands for. That's really important because if you try to just, use rebate sites or buy an email list or something like, none of that works. So when you build your audience, in my case, I had a pet supplies company called Pets Are Kids Too. And I had a bunch of pet lovers who thought their dogs were, their children. So when you have that kind of person and have a lot of them collected in an email list, a ManyChat list, a Facebook group, et cetera, then you formulate your marketing. I'm a big proponent of launching on Amazon. In the pet supplies industry, I think Amazon and Chewy.com are the two marketplaces that you have to be on. There's Walmart and there's all this other stuff, but Amazon and Chewy in the pet supply space are the two biggest. So when you build your audience of people who believe what you believe and then formulate your marketing, your Amazon listings, your Chewy listings, et cetera, to be heavy on belief, not just you want to have certain keywords and all of that, but when you talk about, hey, because you believe your pets are part of the family, that's why we have this ingredient instead of this ingredient. Those are important things that a lot of your competitors are not doing. So having that kind of marketing that your audience is preconditioned to, appreciate will help you then launch on these sales channels. On Amazon, if you're launching, for a specific keyword you're targeting, you want to drive sales to that keyword, and then that will help you rank on Amazon's search algorithm for that keyword. The same thing applies with Chewy and pretty much any other marketplace. But doing that allows you to get some momentum, because if you have that audience, they're also more likely to leave honest and positive reviews. And getting that social proof is really important. And not just any reviews, but reviews that say the things that you want them to say, that speak to your beliefs, that like everybody knows when you're trying to buy something and you're reading reviews, if you resonate with the contents of a review, it's a lot more powerful than just you see 5 stars. But if you see 5 stars and it's like, well, hey, every other pet dental spray on the market has grain alcohol in it. This is the first one I found that doesn't do it. And because I love my dog so much and want my dog to live forever, it's really important that the products I give to my pets have ingredients that are healthy. And that's why this is a 5-star review. That is so much more powerful than this is a good deal. I saved $1.99, 5 stars. The contents of your reviews are really important. On Wednesday's call, we talked about my charity mission that I had for my company and the charity mission that I advise all of my consulting clients in the pet supply space to have. And I use that in part as a review generation strategy as well. Because what we will do is we'll fund an individual dog's cancer treatment, during this week of sales. And we'd say, hey, send in a photo of your pet with this product that you purchased, and we'll make that donation on your behalf. When we do that, then is I would take the photo, or I'd have my assistant do this, take the photo of the pet we're donating to and the photo of their dog that they sent in, put them together in a collage and send it back saying, your dog, Brock, is helping this dog, Beast, and then you got to believe like all of those people are so blown away by that because they weren't expecting it. So one, they share it on social media, and that gets extra, incentive or extra sales for you and extra everything for you. But then also they are just in love with your brand. They are more likely to leave a positive review. And you can ask at the time, like Amazon has a lot of these rules where you can't incentivize reviews. But if somebody is just in love with you, you can say, hey, that's awesome. Would you mind leaving us a review, an honest review? Here's the link. And that can skyrocket your reviews. And that's a highly effective strategy that is safe and is not going to get you banned from Amazon, unless they change some rules. Amazon's always changing things, but ways where you can encourage positive reviews without breaking any incentivization rules are a really important tactic, and something that I was a pillar of my brand's success. And it does so much good in the world at the same time.
Absolutely. Let's kind of back up a little bit and unpack one part at the beginning part that you talked about. So the beginning part you talked about was driving traffic. I mean, that's such a huge buzzword, and it can mean so many things. You could drive traffic with social, we can drive traffic with contests and giveaways and ads and all kinds of things. So tell me a little bit more about that first. When you said you have a group of people who are hyper-focused, just like you are, and you drive traffic to these two sites, Amazon and Chewy, how did you do that?
So I'd take them one at a time. You don't want to launch on Amazon and Chewy at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
One, and don't launch 5 products. Don't launch a product line at the same time. Launch one product on one sales channel, get it to a certain number of sales a day, then repeat. Then expand to another sales channel. So that's important. I should have mentioned that as a ground rule, because if sometimes people try to launch 10 products on 3 different sales channels and then wonder why it doesn't work. So that's important. I have not, at least for the beginning stages in launching products, I would not recommend like running Facebook ads, sending them directly to chewy.com or amazon.com or your own website. You can do that later on when you're, making 50 grand a month or something, experiment with stuff like that. To start, you want to build your audience though, and build your audience in a spot you control. I liked Facebook groups and email lists. So you run ads to get people to join your Facebook group, make it an interactive Facebook group. You can also capture their email at the same time. This is like in this Facebook group is where you can share updates about your brand's charity mission and things like that. And you have their email list. And then when it comes time to launch a product, you're not necessarily running ads to these people, but you're contacting the people that are already in your audience that you already control. And what I would do, and I thought this was really successful and I felt good about the good it did in the world, is if you have the funding available where you can lose out on profit for 100 sales or something, what I think is really powerful is say, tell your audience, hey, for the first 100 purchases in this group, we're donating all 100% of the profit to a dog with cancer. So all of it, like I'm not taking a penny home. Now you still pay your costs. You're not losing money. You're just not making money. So it's not all, but all of the profit is going to fund this surgery for the first 100 or 200 sales. That if you have an audience of people who believe what you believe and are preconditioned to want to do that kind of thing, you start off launching a product with a whole bunch of full price sales that'll juice an Amazon or Chewy algorithm, a whole bunch of people that love what you're doing and are going to leave you 5-star reviews. So you start off launching a product with keyword ranking and with a bunch of reviews, mostly all positive, in a way that is white hat and not breaking any rules, not going to get you in trouble. And you're not making money on those because you're donating all the profit, but you're not losing money. It's not costing you anything, but it still, it jumpstarts you. And that was the most successful way that I've launched products in my business. And that's something I teach my coaching students when I'm helping people build their own businesses too.
That's so incredible. So Chad, a couple of things I really need to unpack with that and make sure people understand. Number one, I love how you specifically said, take one product with one channel and follow it all the way to completion. And
yeah.
I have to, and we can, okay. So there are lots of people in the audience who are agency owners and you're like, oh, this is e-commerce. It doesn't matter. No. Hang on. It's the exact same thing. So let's say I'm an agency owner and I'm a chatbot agency like I am and was, and I'm starting out in the chatbot world and I'm going to build a chatbot for anybody in the world who wants a chatbot built. I'm not going to get anywhere because I'm not speaking to my audience, right? So I'm going to go be specific. I'm going to build a webinar chatbot to help people get higher show up rates on their webinar. And I'm not going to go, oh, but I'm going to help them with their webinar script. And I'm going to help them with their webinar tech of using EverWebinar. No. One thing, be focused on that one, get it all the way to completion, be able to sell it and deliver it and have results with it. And then you can start adding these other things. There are too many people who really just want to do it all. I get it. I understand. I want to do it all too, but you can't. You can't do it all effectively. That one thing I think is going to, right?
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with that. It's like, yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this and you have a e-commerce company that sells keto snacks, I can help you, but I'd be much more impactful helping you if you have a e-commerce brand that sells dog products. I'm the guy to call for that. There's somebody better that can help you with keto snack brownies or something like that. Yeah. So like getting hyper focused on who you serve, I think is really important.
And following that all the way to completion. So that one thing, that one product, do it all the way, because guess what happens? You've just taught yourself how to do it. You just taught yourself, you proved to yourself, and you taught yourself the formula that you need, personally you need, with the charity, with the impact, with the mindset, all those things. You've taught yourself, this is possible with this one thing. Now I can replicate that. And I can now do it for 5 other things or 10 other things or whatever your goals are. It's so important. I love how you put that, because so many of us, we try and just do it all at once, and it's not going to be successful that way. Wow. And then launching it to be able to at least cover your costs, but then get people on board with your whole mission. That was priceless. I'm telling you, the people listening, mischief makers, if you don't do that, chatbot mom going to come smack you, because it is so vital. Once you've worked on those other things and you come to this rubber meets the road concept, embrace it. There's a keyword that we use. There's a hashtag we use all the time. Trust it works. And that's what Chad just told you. He did it. It works. If you do this process, just trust it works.
It's true. Absolutely.
Any last words that you want?
First time, trust that you can make it work. You're like that. That's the one thing. So if something doesn't go perfect the first time, don't be like, oh, it's not going to work. Adjust, correct course, follow the
trust
system
again. Yes, that's it. That's life, right? I mean, if it's kids, right? If the kid falls down, they're not going to just stay down when they're trying to walk. They're going to, oh, that didn't work, or oh, that wasn't great. They're going to get up and try again. Yeah. Yep. Believe me, they're going to walk unless there's something else going on. I used to say this all the time with parents, because I used to have a podcast that was parenting and entrepreneurship, and people, the biggest problem is, oh, when are they going to be potty trained? It's like, dude, your kid's not going to be 17 in diapers. Chill. They're fine. You're going to they're going to do it. If you get out of the way, they're going to do it. Just chill. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox with that one. So any last comments or ideas or words that you want to give to the incredible CEO mischief makers in the audience trying to unpack all of this brilliance? And that's why we spread it out over 3 days, because I'm telling you, to try and do this in one day, you're going to be overwhelmed and not going to do anything. So any last words of advice?
I'd say if you haven't listened to part 1 and 2, go back and do that. I think foundationally, though, you have to believe you can do it, and you look at other people's success as proof you can do it. It's like, if you are building a pet supplies company, an e-commerce pet supplies company, look at what I did just as proof you can do it. Not as, oh, I'm special, but like I'm another person who hadn't done it previously, saw somebody else who did it and followed suit. Like, you can do that. I think that's probably the most foundational thing. It's not the only thing. You need the right plan and all of that. But if you don't have the belief that you can do it, you're not going to follow the plan anyway. So I think that's probably the most important piece. If you don't feel that way today, that's okay. Nobody feels that way on day one. You develop that mindset. You develop confidence. It's just be open to the idea that maybe you can accomplish more than what you thought you could.
Yes. Amen. So where can people find you? Just so I can direct them to be able to get into your world.
Yeah, I mean, the best way is just reach out on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. I mean, you can put the spelling of my name in the show notes, but Maghielse, Chad Maghielse. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm moving. I work with e-commerce company owners of any type right now, but I'm transitioning to work kind of exclusively with people in the pet supplies industry. So if you have a dog products e-commerce brand, you should probably reach out to me. If you are doing something else, there may be better people out there that can help you. But yeah, if you're trying to build a brand like I did in the pet supply space, feel free to reach out with me on one of those channels.
Okay, hold on. If your mindset was shifted, you were inspired to innovate, and you were spurred into action, don't just move on with your day. Focus, my friend, and take a few minutes to visit CEOmischiefmaker.com to learn more about the value that was shared with you today. Please act now and create some CEO mischief of your own.